Welcome to Total Meltdown, Pwned.com's official podcast. This is G-Nitro, and my co-host this evening is GLaDOS. You may know her from the surprise hit Portal.
Hey everybody, it's actually Clover. As most of you probably remember from last week, I did have some microphone problems, and I sounded very much like GLaDOS, or any other.
Some problems?
Okay, I had a lot of problems. I switched microphones, it's still a little bit electronic. I'm pretty sure it's probably something with my motherboard or sound.
But
So,
she's definitely louder. You can definitely hear her
yeah, you
fine.
can actually hear me this week. So, for everybody who had to blast their speakers last week, I do apologize. You don't have to worry about it. Everybody, welcome. It's nice to have y'all back. We've got
Definitely.
got some great news for everybody and a interesting show for you guys.
I hope. Well, first off, I'll tell you why it's going to be interesting. We're going to have the owner of Pwned, the creator, Andy, a.k.a. Pwned,
Modular.
who will be on tonight. What did you say?
Opposite Pwned Modular. Everybody knows
Yeah,
that.
modular. I figure we just call him Pwned at this point.
Yeah, I guess.
But we'll be featuring a interview with him partway through the show, so definitely want to stay tuned for that. Don't want to miss it. We're going to ask him some questions, and hopefully he'll actually give us some insight of what he has planned, but it's kind of tough getting things out of him. Maybe I'll sneak in a contact with Jamie and see if we can sneak something out of her. He's going to kill me for that one.
All right. Yeah, but speaking of changes, there's been a bunch of changes this week to the website, and a couple that are also getting ready to come up. Do you want to start talking about them?
Yeah, some big changes to the site. If you take a look around, clans are now, you have your own profile. It's kind of weird to set up, so definitely check in the announcement section of the forums. Andy set it up to instruct you on how to set up your clan page now. It can be kind of confusing, but once you get it set up, it's a lot easier than just having a page with your logo, clan name, and just people in it. You can now set it up like a regular profile. What else? He's got a blog page, which is definitely sweet now. You can read everybody else's blogs, leave a comment, and even bump it. And the highest bumps stay on the main page of the site. Got the news articles. Only a couple up right now. Going to have interviews in there and stuff like that from other people on the site. And last but not least, one of my favorite new options, because I have unlimited texting. You can now get text anytime somebody leaves you a comment, whether it's a picture comment or on your profile or even a friend request. So if you're away from Pwned, you can see what's going on. And I don't know if it's implemented yet. I haven't gotten a text yet since it started last night, but Andy has it working or is working on where you will be able to see part of the comment in the text to your phone. So that'll be sweet.
So for those of you guys that just can't be on Pwned 24/7, now you can.
Yeah, definitely like me.
Or for those of you guys who haven't blocked at work, I know a lot of people seem to be really unhappy about that.
Yeah, I've been lucky. It hasn't been blocked yet, but I try to keep my time on it like 5-10 minutes tops. So they don't catch me. I don't think there's any. Oh, there is a new contest. Since the last show, you can now win the Pwn.com T-shirt. 4 different sizes. So enter the contest for your size, or if you're lucky and you're actually size small, you can order all the way up to extra large. Or if you're like me and a fat ass, you can only order extra large because I wouldn't be able to do anything with the rest of them.
Well, you could, just maybe nothing, productive.
Yeah, use it as a towel for my car or something.
Pillowcase. Or...
I'll put it on my
Give it to your
dog.
dog.
Yeah, put it on my dog.
What does it matter when it's free?
True.
So, win it and sell it on eBay or sell it to somebody else on Pwned. They'll all go crazy. They'll buy it from you.
Definitely. I can't wait till the Pwned T-shirts are actually up for sale. Supposedly we're going to be able to use points for it if we want to, so that'll be sweet.
Yeah, what is the other contest that was also released? I guess by the time this airs, there was a contest for, I guess, the Game Girl thing, but it was a $100 GameStop gift card, and we'll hopefully find out by next week or the week after who won that contest. So.
Yeah, so hopefully you've been voting your ass off to get into that contest, because I think it's whoever voted the most, I believe. Mm-hmm. Or the top 10 voters will be entered into a random drawing, so I know I'm not in that one. I forgot my logon information every time I hit forgot password.
You know what, if I entered myself, I probably would have won hands down, because I voted for so many people, including myself, almost every day. So, but I felt, I felt kind of like, well, that's cheating.
True.
So, for those of you guys who thought that I was getting points from this thing, I did not. I got none.
I didn't either, because I didn't tell anybody. I was just voting to vote. And good luck to all the girls who actually entered the contest, and we hope to see who the winner is in the near future.
Yeah, we hope to. Hope that somebody from Pwned.com got it. There's quite a few girls now in the tournament from Pwned. And, a lot of the girls are in the top 50, plenty in the top 20, and got a decent amount in the top 10. So, good luck to everybody. I'm not sure when we'll find out who, gets casting from G4, but, best of luck to you all.
Yep, definitely be nice to see who wins. On to the next subject. We got our podcast up. First episode's up on our profile, pwn.com/Total Meltdown. You can also... What's the MySpace?
It's myspace.com/Total Meltdown Show.
Meltdown Show. I couldn't remember if there's an extra word there or not.
Yeah, there's show after it. Some crazy little random person that never checks their MySpace anymore totally took Total Meltdown.
That's funny. It figures. But yeah. So the first show's up. Definitely, you gotta send us a friend request. We'll take everybody and anybody who wants to be our friend on that profile. Download the show, please, on iTunes, because it'll help boost our ranking. I finally took down the MP3 player. Somebody else wouldn't take it down.
You know what? I was having my fun with it. So.
Yes, I sounded like more of a retard than I already do.
Welcome to Total Meltdown.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But,
it was working the first few days, and every day it gradually started to slow itself down. I don't know if it was I had, where we had it hosted, or if it was my flash fetish, which is what we used for the MP3 player. I don't know what exactly it was, but something was making the MP3 slow down a couple of 100%.
Yeah, I have a feeling it might be flash fetish, because I don't know if they're used to having 65-minute long MP3s going through their thing.
I don't think so either. No. But hopefully we'll find out some system for those of you guys who just, like me, that don't have iTunes and you really want to hear it. We'll try to think of something that you guys can also listen to the podcast to as well.
Yeah, definitely. Even if we got to find a way to put media player on there or something. We'll talk to Andy about it. And thanks for the feedback. Feedback's been mostly positive. I think the worst we got was about GLaDOS here.
Complaints about the microphone.
Yeah, either too electronic or you could barely hear.
Well, that microphone is now sitting, off to the side. It is dead.
It's not in the trash can yet?
No, it's not in the trash can. I'm going to clean it up and just there's some stuff on the side of it and take it back to Best Buy because I have a warranty. It was only like $4. So
nice.
I'm going to take it back and get a new one. For those of you guys who decided to cheap out and buy one of the really crappy Logitech ones, I'm sure Logitech, they're an amazing brand. My keyboard is Logitech. But this
headset is Logitech.
This headset just did not last at all. I tend to have that problem a lot, too. I had a Plantronics that the microphone went out after a while.
Typical women talking too much.
I guess so. You know what?
I'm going to get flamed on that one.
Yeah, you are.
But I do it all the time in the shout box, so I'm surprised I haven't been silenced or ignored by everybody.
I don't know. I've heard a couple people that have you on ignore, but I'm not going to name names, get anybody in trouble here.
Who's got me on ignore? Besides, I can imagine one person and their fans.
Yeah, but we're not going to go into that today. So
Nah, no, I know. Nah, it's all good. Um, so yeah, we thank once again. Just keep bringing in your feedback, please.
yeah, and
Tell us what you want to hear, what you think is better. Like we've said on the first show, we're gonna try to start interviewing people in the near future. So
so yeah, stick around, keep listening to our show. We hope this thing really grows big because I think the bigger that the show gets, the more we're going to be able to do. So everybody, keep on listening. Tell your friends to listen, and I guess on that note, we want to take a break here just for a few minutes.
yep, we're gonna bring in Andy for an interview, and after this break, and then we're gonna get back into the regular show once we're done with that. So stick around. You definitely want to hear this interview. So be back in a few.
All right, everybody, and we're back. I'd like to welcome Andy, aka Pwned. Most of you guys know him probably from the Shoutbox. He's your official Tom on your profile. Andy, welcome to Total
Yep,
Meltdown.
welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right, so you want to do a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. My name is Andy, obviously. And I'm pretty much the one that makes the wheels turn inside of Pwned. And I don't know, I'm 24. I live in Los Angeles. My job is generally a full-time programmer, and I'm also an avid gamer.
Sounds good, sounds good. Yeah, I can hear you gaming right now.
Yeah, I'm playing some Call of Duty 4.
See that, folks? He doesn't leave the games no matter what he's doing.
I know I'm always stopping to, play a quick game here and there, and I don't know, it's overtaking my life.
Yeah, trust me, his name suits him because he pwns me all the time in COD. Oh, it's pretty bad. Alright, so first question is, so what made you decide to create the site, and why was Pwn the name you chose?
I get that question a lot, but let's see. Basically, obviously I play games, and a lot of my friends in real life, as everybody would know what I'm talking about, don't really play games. I'm kind of one of those one-off inside of my group of friends. So every time I would go online, play games, like, I never had anybody to play with, so,
Yeah.
Basically I was like, I want to find a place that I wanted to make a place that at least I could play with other people online. So that's pretty much what I did. And pretty much, the reason for Pwned is just because, it's such a well-known term. Everybody knows what it is. And, it pretty much describes, what the gaming community is and what everybody's trying to do in their games. And I just thought it was appropriate.
Makes sense. So, to get the initial word out, how'd you go about that? I mean, before the private beta, I know people heard about it here and there, but how'd you actually get the word out?
I don't even know. It's really funny. Basically, I have a business partner. His name is Chris, and then we have the designer Bo, and a lot of those people have MySpaces and stuff like that, and I don't know. It was pretty much just word of mouth. Posting one bulletin all of a sudden turns into 5 bulletins, turns into 20 bulletins. And next thing you know, we have a database full of people who wanted to join the site before it was even launched.
Yeah.
And I mean, we haven't done.
When was the original launch date?
Say that again.
Sorry. When did you guys launch Pwned?
December 3rd at midnight.
All right. But I think I heard about it through I think MySpace. Somehow I got a message. I don't know if it was MySpace or another one of the gaming sites. I know I just saw this thing said sign up for a private beta, and I was like, okay, what's this? And I'm all about finding the gaming social networking site because I was on that My Gamer space and it had problems. It was kind of lame. Not much interaction. I mean, it didn't. I just was kind of like bored with it, and then it went down, and I was left with nothing. And I thought it was kind of interesting, and that's my thing. How did you think the site would fare? I mean, how much confidence did you have in the site before going into the private beta?
Uh, I really had no idea. Um, it's one of those things that I mean, if it took off, awesome. If it failed right from the start, I wasn't going to be depressed or upset. I mean,
Okay.
you know, I didn't really put any money. I mean, I put a lot of time into it. I went 3 months without a job just trying to get this thing out. At the end of it. And I was hoping, obviously, it would take off,
Yeah.
but I can't control the community and what they decide if they like it or not. So, I don't know. I guess it's pretty much hope. That's all I ever really have.
That's that's interesting. Like, I know I'd be afraid of failing. I definitely don't want to do that. But definitely enjoy it. I mean, how'd you come up with the shout box? Or all you guys come up with the shout box that were initially putting everything together?
Bo was actually the original one who kind of came up with the idea, because I mentioned it to him in passing before a long time ago, and it's kind of funny. The whole shout box was just supposed to be a place that people could go in there and just be like, "Oh, hey guys, I have new pictures up," or "Hey guys, who wants to play a game of Halo?" And just so people could go in there and just do quick little
Yeah.
shouts, and then it ended up turning into like a chat, like a chat program, which wasn't our intentions, but I'm not saying it's bad at all,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's kind of funny.
I know the shoutbox reminds me of a lot of an old site I used to use, WBS.net, where it's basically you type, refresh to see what other people are saying. And
Yeah,
I know your girlfriend, Violent and Delicious, used to use that site as well. So it was interesting. I was kind of worried. I know when I first started using it, are people going to be into this? Because I know for me, I've been around the internet so long, it didn't bother me. But I know most people want real time, but it seems like people have really come into it saying, this is great. Like, they really have synced up with the site and the shout box.
I I don't know. I mean, exactly. It's like taking it back to 1995, and I mean, it's really funny to see. As you guys, new people will come in there and they'll be like, "Man, you guys need a chat program. Need a chat program. Need a chat program." And then you give them a day or two to using it, and then they don't. You hear nothing about it ever
Yeah,
again. It's one of those weird anomalies, I guess.
true, true. So, Clover, you got any questions?
Um, like I was kind of telling Nitro up in IM, I really just don't know what to ask. You're answering all my questions. If anything I have is just personal and lame, but
I have a
like it's
tendency to do
weird.
that.
Well, I got another question on did you expect to have like we've been having a lot of things with the trolls lately and people coming in abusing the site. Were you expecting them to
Yeah.
come in that quickly onto the site?
Uh, Actually, I expected them to come in a lot sooner than they
Oh,
already
okay.
did. So, now we're starting to hit 3 months in, and now we're really starting to get some more trolls. But I was expecting them the first month and the first day actually. But yeah, I mean, we've actually had a decent haul, and I don't know, maybe I was kind of, I can't even think of the word, but overcompensating for trolls in the
Yeah.
community. You know, maybe they're. I mean, the whole point, obviously, was to have a place that everybody can kind of come together and share their interests of games and find other people to play online, and it's working out even better than I anticipated it would be
Yeah. Um
at the current stage we're at, anyway.
yeah. What about the point system? I mean, how did you manage to come up with that? And did you think that would take off like it has? People finding out what gets the points so quickly.
Yeah, actually, I did expect for that to take off. There's not many sites out there that are incentive based, and if they are, it's like Microsoft doing some type of promotion or for like their Zune or their Xbox or whatever else they're doing. But there's really no sites to actually dedicated to people, being rewarded for using the site. And it's just, I think of it if I was in my shoes, like I would definitely use a site that would reward me for using it, whether it's posting a comment, inviting friends, whatever the case may be. So why not? And like I did anticipate for it to take off, and I expected for there to be more point hoarders than there actually are. Like as more people get in the community, you see a bunch of people saying, I don't even care about the points, I just really like coming here. And it seems to be a trend that's happening, as more people come in, the longer they stay.
All right, well, let me ask you, in a year from now, when people start having enough points to pretty much be cashing in, you've got 1,000 people trying to cash in points, are you going to be ready?
I hope so. We kind of have a couple of plans and ideas set of how to actually, I guess monitor it / I don't know, figure it out. So this way, when we first do go public or whatever the case may be, so we don't go bankrupt right away.
Yeah.
Basically, whether if it's we have to limit, people can only redeem 100 games a month, and then if you don't fall within that 100 games of redeeming, then you have to wait till next month to do it, just so that way we can kind of balance everything out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of a small idea of what we're kicking around. We're hoping we don't have to do that, but that is a possibility, just like anything else. And I just won again in Call of Duty 4.
Pwned by Pwned.
Go ahead, Clover.
I was going to say, I know you guys have been getting a whole bunch more sponsors, and with the GDC, I'm assuming you guys got some more. Who are all the official sponsors of Pwned, really?
We never have an exact quote-unquote official sponsors. A lot of the things, people who are just kind of helping us out right now, the ECA, of course, and then there's also Frag Dominant, who's we're kind of doing like a little cross partnership. Same with Control Freak, and their actual gear is so awesome, and I love using the Speed Freaks, and I can't wait for the FPS Freaks. Speaking of, we've done a bunch of partnerships right now. We don't necessarily have a quote unquote sponsor,
Yeah, going back to the points thing where you said like people are like, oh, I don't come here for the points. I know, like when I try to get points, I know for me personally, I mean, it would be cool if I use them to trade in. I look at it like almost achievement points on the 360. Like, it's bragging rights. It's like, hey, I got 20,000. I got over 20,000 now. And it seems that's what people do. They're like, I got 27,000. I got 19. And it's turned into almost like the achievement.
I got 7.
Yeah. It's like turned into like the achievement system on 360. Did you expect it to go down like that, where people are going to be more like bragging about it than thinking about turning them in?
I wasn't sure about that. I kind of did have an idea that people were going to be like, oh, how many points do you guys have? And everything like that. I just didn't know if it was going to turn into like a bragging rights thing. I mean, it kind of is in a way, which is fine, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, one of the things, speaking of that, is, as you know, we're not displaying everybody's Pwn points. A lot of the reason for that is we didn't want people to start getting jealous with each other in some sort of a way. I try to keep the community drama down to the lowest common denominator if I can. And anything that I would really kind of imagine that would cause drama that doesn't necessarily need to be there, I generally won't put in or won't work with it. So,
what about Easter eggs? I know I was lucky enough to find the first one. Are you going to do any more?
Yes, definitely. We have a couple more ideas as far as what we're going to do and how we're going to do them. It's just a matter of getting around the time right now to actually building it out, which is there's always new things coming up that need to be done before I do that.
Yeah.
So yeah. just, I mean, in the future, we're going to be randomly announcing them and clues, of course, along the way.
Cool. And you've done a lot of contests so far. I mean, since it's only been, like you said, 3 months, and you've done quite a few contests. But there's one that really stands out, which was the AggroCast promotion. Were you expecting it to blow up like it did on the site?
Yes. Mainly because the amount of points we were offering, on top of how many girls were actually in there, and you could get a massive amount of points. You know, but at the other hand, I was kind of hoping it wouldn't turn into a whole community drama thing, which it kind of did in this small way. But, you know, I don't know. It's one of the things, like, I was expecting it to. I don't think it turned out as bad as I expected it to. Because I always fear for the worst in reality, because then you can never be disappointed.
That's the truth.
Well, are you glad it's over?
Definitely. I'm just glad it's over because, you know, I don't know, with like the blogs that people are posting, with the bulletins, you know, just, I don't know, there was almost too much, like, people arguing in, like, the shout box about a certain person, or, you know, we don't need that. We really don't.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, since you just mentioned blogs, I want to talk about the new blog feature that you've just recently added for everybody on Pwned with the bumping it up to the top. Whose idea was that?
That was my idea, actually. I thought it might be kind of cool to do something along the lines of, like, you know, obviously how Dig has their whole little dig system, and you can bury and all that other stuff. And, you know, one of my problems with social bookmarking is the fact that people can bury things, and, you know, that's lame, because then it turns into flame wars and popularity contests and everything else. It's not really about the content anymore. So I decided to just do bumping. So if somebody thinks a blog's cool, yeah, go ahead, bump it. And you want more people to read about it, then cool, do it. Yeah, I mean, you just click a button and it's bumped up to the front page. I'm going to build out that system a little bit more, so it's a little bit more, I'm trying to think of the word, but it's a little bit more robust than it actually is. Because right now it just goes to the front page, but yeah, I wanted to see what type of response that I got from the community, and it seems to be pretty good so far. So
yeah, it's definitely nice. Now, speaking of the features on the site, do you have any current developments that you could share with us that are debuting in the near future, like anything coming around?
You know better. You guys know better than to ask me that.
You know I have to, though. If I don't, people are going to be like, why didn't you ask? So I got to at least try. Well, I told you I was going to.
I know. I try to keep it like how Apple does it. You know, they don't tell you anything. They'll hint at things, but they never tell you anything. True. And it's so much funner that way, because then I get to release something and people are like, "Oh, this is so cool," or, you know, people actually appreciate what you're doing a little bit more, and that's kind of what the payoff for me is anyway in this whole site.
What about the IM feature? Because I know you were testing it before. When do you see that going completely, like, out there for everybody to use?
As far as the time and date,
no, just
I
like
have no idea.
Not just the exact time and date, but a rough estimate. Like, is it soon or is it later?
It depends what you consider sooner or later. I mean, I'm hoping that we can kind of get it done in March.
Okay.
I mean, it works right now, but it's obviously buggy. So I don't know. I mean, it could be a week, it could be 2. It just depends on how many snags we hit. If we hit any snags, you know, that's one of the things about development. Yeah. Sometimes things can go quick. Sometimes they can take 6 times longer than they actually should because of, you know, God knows whatever reason.
Yeah. The other section that I wanted to ask you a question on, now with the game section, you could have obviously gone with a system like Muse where you can have it all already put in. What made you decide that you'd rather have people input the games they want into it and get points from it?
You know, I don't know. There are so many games out there that it eventually seriously gets very hard to manage everything. And especially considering the fact there's, I don't even know how many games, but yeah, you know, for us to go through there and get every single game. Or are you talking about adding the games to your profile or actually putting them in the system?
No, putting them in the system.
Okay, good. That's what I'm talking
Okay.
about. I want to make
Yeah.
sure. I just had a brain fart. But no, I mean, it's incentives for people to kind of play a part in the
Yeah.
site, and you know, I mean, I'm sure as far as the incentives go, I mean, I might as well just tell you about this, but I'm sure as you've seen, like anytime anybody suggests anything to the site, I almost always implement
Yeah.
it, if I can. And the whole point was, I just wanted people to actually feel like they're making a difference in the site and they're actually helping pave the way for the site, because a lot of people have other better ideas than what I have, or even more robust, or whatever the case may be. And that's kind of like where the games kind of comes along. Um, I wanted people to feel like they're doing something for the community and not just for themselves.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, does that answer
Yeah,
it?
definitely. I mean, I've always liked the idea. I mean, I spent I think all this morning putting in a bunch of import Japanese games. So that's what I've been spending my time. I'm trying to find stuff that other people won't look for. So
So,
Yeah.
Andy. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
No.
interrupt you. But so when are we gonna get our button for Total Meltdown on the toolbar?
Button for total meltdown on the toolbar. I don't know what you're talking. Oh, you're talking about
to just
on the
yeah,
navigation.
to the navigation
Yeah.
toolbar.
Uh, that's something I've been talking to Bo about, because we have so many links right now. We don't have room, so we're trying to figure out a way we can redo the navigation and still have more content so it doesn't look
Yeah,
crowded.
true.
That's one of the things we're working with. So I guess as soon as we can work that out, you'll have it.
Okay. Now,
Because
Sounds good.
we have a couple more things that we're going to be adding into the navigation. Can't tell you what it is,
I understand. I understand.
but yeah. So
All right. Another thing, if this site gets real big, so like a lot of social network sites have been lately, would you be like Tom with MySpace and actually sell out the company, or would you prefer just to continue on having the full control over it?
eh, you know, I could get into something right now, but I'm not going
Okay.
to. Um, but I'm not about really kind of sell it out. The only thing I really have in mind, this whole goal, at least
Hmm.
anyway, is I would like to be able to make this my full-time job.
Yeah.
Because, me working a full-time job now on top of working on this site, I can't even tell you how many hours a day that I work. And I'm sure Jamie doesn't like it that I work so much. That's kind of
Well,
obvious.
and
But,
she's always helping out as well.
yeah, I just won again in Call of Duty 4. That's 3 in a
Hey, and
row.
you got people like me. I mean, I'm helping out with the game section now and all. Just for those people who are
Yeah, yeah.
constantly getting denied, you come to me. Don't go to Jamie. Ask me. I'm the game Nazi there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever plan to sell it out. That's never
Yeah.
my goal or my plan. I want to keep the community going in the idea
Hmm.
and the actual theory of what Pwned is, and if I can work on it full time, that's kind of
Cool.
all I care about. So that's kind of sentimental in a weird way.
All right. Do you ever have any regrets to starting the site?
Um, Not really. If I could have launched it a little bit sooner, I would have.
Yeah.
But that's really about it.
All right. I mean, sounds good. I mean, you've covered a lot today on the site and answering our questions, even though a couple you won't talk about, but we understand.
Yeah, yep, yep. You'll hear about them soon enough, I'm
I know,
sure.
I know. Well, if you ever want to announce it on the podcast, you're free to come on at any time.
Yeah, I might just do
Give us some
that.
exclusives here. Get more listeners.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Well, I guess we just had a few more quick questions for you. A little bit stupid ones, but some that your fans out there might want to know. Pirates or ninjas, Andy?
Oh, pirates, of course.
Yeah, his name on PS3 is Pirate Andy.
That's right.
360 or PS3?
Uh, PS3 is Pirate Andy, and
No, I mean,
this.
which
Oh,
one do you
what?
prefer?
Oh, you can't ask me that. I like them both.
Come on, you got to pick one, man.
It was a
I
life or
can't.
death question.
I know. There's things I like about the PlayStation 3 better than I like about the 360. Obviously, the high definition built-in Blu-ray player, and also the dedicated RAM that's in the PlayStation 3. One thing I like about the Xbox 360 is live, but one thing I hate about it is that you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have to pay
But you
for
pay
it.
for a
I mean, they
superior
make.
product, though, so...
I guess if you like paying $4 for an avatar in Xbox Live,
But, no, I mean, it
which I
has
don't see
better
that.
linking between games. And the fact I can chat with somebody that's not in the same game as me, I don't have to go into a chat room like the PS3.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think that's a lot better.
Yeah.
I think PlayStation is gonna kind of step it up
Yeah.
in the future. It's just a matter of time.
Cool.
So, but we'll see what Microsoft's coming out with next, because there's that whole rumors going around that they're coming out with a new system in 2009, I think it is, or 2010. So.
PC or Macintosh?
Oh, that's all.
I'm a Mac. I'm a Mac person. Come on. I know. I used to be a PC person. I grew up on a PC. You know.
So how easy was it to fix your hard drive problem yourself then?
Oh, I could have if I wanted to, but it's a laptop.
Yeah.
If it was a desktop, I could have fixed it, no problem.
Now I got one more thing before we end this interview. We do our own top 5 of at the end of every show of games we're anticipating, and it changes month by month. So give us your top 5 games you're anticipating for this year that are coming out.
Okay, Resistance 2. That's my biggest one right now, as I love the original Resistance. God of War.
All right.
And I'm trying to think. I don't even know what other games come out this year. Oh, Grand Theft Auto is coming out. I don't know. I'm anticipating it because it looks good. But I was never a big Grand Theft Auto fan.
Yeah, I personally thought Saints Row was a better game, but
I never even played Saints Row.
Yeah.
But no, Mario Kart is a big one. That's right.
Wii Fit.
The Wii Fit, because I need to exercise more. And that's, what, 4?
Grim.
Yeah, one more.
Is Jamie talking in the background?
Yeah, and she's yelling Grim because she really is. She can't wait for that Grim game to come out by American McGee. So.
Yeah, that one looks great. We're definitely overdue for another game by then.
I know. I used to play Alice all the time back in the day when that first came out. I was addicted to that game.
Never played it.
Oh, it's awesome.
I'm trying to get it right now off GooseX, but I'm having problems, so.
I have a ripped copy. When I worked at GameStop, one of my customers, we were talking about it, and he comes back 2 hours later with 3 discs, and he ripped it for me.
Yeah, I remember there was a patch that got leaked right away that you could burn the game and play it. I actually bought the game, though.
Yeah, I prefer owning games. I got enough of them in my collection here.
Yeah, I don't know. Things may change like the music industry, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for your time, Andy. I mean, coming on here. I know you're busy poning people on COD4 and at times with the site.
Yeah, today's hopefully going to be a down day.
Yeah, it's Sunday. It should be, right?
Yeah, should be.
Give it a few more hours when everybody starts coming home, or doing whatever they do Sunday night. They'll be on, and it will be another busy night, like always.
I'm sure. I can't wait. Hey, babe.
So, well, once again, thank you for coming on. We look forward to having you on again. Hopefully, we'll.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.
We'll have to bring Jamie on next time if she can log on too.
Yeah. I have to get her a headset so we don't have the feedback problem.
Yeah, true. I'm sure she's got plenty she wants to say about the site.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
But all right. Well, look forward to seeing the new implementations around the site in the near future.
Yeah. Just hopefully we'll have something next week because I'm kind of working on something right now.
Right.
So just keep your eyes peeled.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for joining us, Andy.
All right. Thanks for having me. All right.
We'll
see
be
you guys.
back after another short break.
All right. All right, so yeah, everybody, I got Lost Odyssey in. I think it was about a week and a half ago. Been playing it since. A few days off to play some Call of Duty 4 with other people, but been playing the game steadily. And first thing I noticed was that definitely had more of a challenge in this game. It wasn't like Blue Dragon where it was pretty much a cakewalk through the whole game. You could even go through the last boss. I mean, like that. It was nothing. But this one, um, got to the first couple bosses, died pretty easily. Um, as I wasn't expecting a lot of things, but you realize what you need to do and you go back and you fix it and you beat them usually the second time through. I did. Every time I had to do the second time through, I beat it. I have not touched the strategy guide, which normally I've been doing lately because I'm trying to get through these games and play more games. I have such a backlog I'm trying to play, but this one, I haven't touched the strategy guide. Like, things are easy to figure out while there's always a challenge to it. So definitely be ready for that. To the main character, he's an effeminate Japanese Asian guy. Basically what you expect from a Japanese RPG nowadays, kind of along the lines of what you'd see in a Final Fantasy, but it works because the guy's. I mean, this isn't a spoiler here. The guy's basically immortal. Been around for like 1,000 years, so it makes sense the way he acts. Kind of like nonchalant, almost not caring, but at the same time, you know he does. It's just an affliction he has because of living so long. Um, in the beginning, though, he can be kind of depressing at times. You're kind of like, dude, come on, get some emotion. And I started going down the road of Final Fantasy VIII, where I couldn't stand that everybody was like completely emo. And I wanted some more emotion than just like sorrow. But as you meet more characters, the game has a great sense of humor to it. The way the characters interact is funny. The whole story is very emotional, and it draws you in. Even the dreams and all the dreams that you have, that are triggered by walking up to certain people and something triggers a dream, or when you sleep. They're all text. There's no video to them. You're reading, like reading the dreams out of a book, and it sounds kind of odd, but it works very well. It sets the mood and tone of the game. And most people might be kind of bored through the game and may not feel the emotional part till one major instance. And I'm not even going to say any more than that, but it changes the whole game. You're like, holy shit. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is awesome. And around that time, I put it down for the past few days because I've been working on other things. And I'm going to be picking it up in the next couple days again to keep going. But I'm 9-10 hours into this game. Maybe 11 now. And I'm still on disc 1. And there's 4 discs to this game. So over the next couple weeks, even maybe a month or so, and the next couple podcasts, you'll probably hear me talk about this game more and more. I can't believe that it's 10, 11 hours in and I'm still on disc 1. I mean, this is going to be a 40 to 50 hour game. And it's not a bad thing. You don't feel like, oh, it's dragging on. You want to find out more. You want to find out more about this person and what's going on. And some of the elements of the story, of course, are basic, typical stereotypes. Like it's a kingdoms at war thing going throughout the game. But it's got enough backstabbing and twists that you won't mind it. Definitely got to check out Lost Odyssey.
So
especially if you're...
I'll say, so what's your rating for this week?
Gotta give this game 5 out of 5, definitely. Just the story alone for me. But I'm also a big traditional RPG fan. Let me put that out there as a disclaimer. If you prefer like Final Fantasy 12 or MMOs where it's action RPG, this might not be your game unless you really want to see and feel the story and the emotional aspect, because it's traditional turn-based. I mean, the only thing about it that adds a little more to it is the ring system, where when you're about to fight, if you have a ring on them, before you strike them, you're holding down the trigger button until these 2 rings connect, and it does more damage in a certain area, whether it's like water, fire, or just more attack power. But other than that, The game's a 5 out of 5 for me. It's got all the traditional role-playing elements, a great story that a lot of games really leave out nowadays for graphics, audio, voice acting, whatever. But this one works well. I haven't listened to the English voice acting people, so I can't tell you anything on that one either. I like to keep it original.
Same here.
So.
If I have the option to listen in the original Japanese audio, I will turn it on instantly.
Yeah, and most games now, especially RPGs, are allowing you to do that, which is great. I'm loving them for it. I think they've got enough complaints from the English audio that they've started including both.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily anything against the English voice actors. It's just once you start getting into a series or you start playing a lot of these games and you're used to the Japanese voices because that's the characters are originally modeled after. I mean, hearing an English voice come from it, just sometimes it kills the mood. Or like even in certain animes, I've heard English voice actors that like don't even display the personality that the Japanese.
Yeah, or have like some like they're out of a western or something, and they're in like a Neo Tokyo, and they sound like they're straight out of the Wild Wild West, and you're like, what the hell is this?
Like Bleach, for instance, Ichigo in the original. I mean, I was watching Bleach 4 years ago, not 3 years. I guess it was about 2.5, 3 years ago when it was first coming out. And he had a very scruffy, a very slow, a very deep, depressed voice. It was very scratchy. Maybe even thought he had, like been a smoker. Yeah. I mean, but you could just hear the pain and the emotions in his voice. And the English version, he's very loud and obnoxious, and it's a completely different person. And it just kind of, when I first saw it air on Adult Swim, I was very frustrated because this is a completely different person. So, I definitely appreciate when the game developers keep the original audio in it. I think it's for people like us who are incredibly picky.
Definitely. I'm definitely Japanese audio, English subtitles on anything anime. I can't. The only one. Well, I'll watch Ranma 1/2, but
yeah,
I think
I'll
that
watch
was the
FLCL
only.
with English. Yeah. I think they did a good job with the dub on that one.
Definitely. Even though I couldn't get into the series itself, I did definitely hear the audio, and they did a good job in doing that. But so Clover's got a nice little leak she wants to share.
All right. Well, I'm probably going to get in some serious trouble for this one, everybody. But for those of you old school Quake fans who may have heard that there was a new Quake game in the midst, hopefully will be released or demoed by QuakeCon at the end of this summer. Quake 0, aka Quake Live, is currently in private beta. I don't even really call it beta. Nice. I'd call it maybe development and testing. A friend decided to share some information with me, which he told me not to tell, and of course, I'm not going to keep that as, a promise. Quake Live, aka Quake 0, is going to be a browser-type game. It's basically Quake 3 revamped. Quake 3, most of you guys know, has been around for over 8 years. My boyfriend's a pro gamer in Quake 3. KGB, some of you guys may know him. Some of you guys may not give a crap about Quake, so you probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
I raised my hand.
But yeah, Quake, Quake's one of the greatest first-person shooters, but it's kind of lost a little bit of its spark in America. It's still really big in Europe, in Australia, on the other side of the world. But to try to re-spark it, they're remaking Quake. Basically, I guess I'm going to start talking some Quake talk. They've redesigned the netcode. They've, made it a lot smoother where you still don't need to run a lot, but updated with today's technology. They've made it play more like CPMA, which is the pro mod. If you ever hear about a Quake 3 tournament, usually, unless it's like a really local one, they're going to be using CPMA as the mod to play it. And the rail, I've heard so far that the rail has not been knocked down from 100 to 80 damage. So for those of you guys who hate the one-hit kills, the rail shots, grab some armor, get the mega health, run around, and you might stay alive a little bit longer.
Now it takes 2 kills or 2 shots.
Yeah. Or if you're basically playing my boyfriend, you've got about 3 seconds to live. So,
See, this is why I stopped playing games on like that.
well, I think the problem with Quake is it's been around for so long, and it's gone through so many changes and transitions that the only people that are really left are the pros, the people that have been playing forever, and the people who have enough skill to kind of keep it up. You get some noobs here and there, some people that haven't really played, but I mean, if you get a good teacher, you get a good coach, and you've got a lot of determination, and you're really going to get a chance to stick around. So my hope is that Quake 0 really revives the community. Quake 4 was a completely different style game, and a lot of the game developers, ID especially, really realized that a lot of people were very angry with Quake 4. Some people like it. It's still a great game, but it's a completely different game from Quake 0 or from Quake 3. So Quake 0 is kind of going back to pay a little bit of homage to the Quake 3 players. Still some great things to offer for those of you Quake 4, Quake 1, Quake 2. You guys are going to love this game too. And they're still developing, they're still changing it. If any of you guys really do like the series and you want to let people know what you want, you can go to ES Reality's webpage. There was a post about Quake. Walter hosted, because Walter's hosting in the private beta, and you can tell him what you want in the game.
Interesting.
So yeah, they really want this game to be for the community, and those who really have been playing it for years, and not necessarily those kids that basically will play whatever's big. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm definitely not one of those who plays whatever's big, because I usually hate the mainstream games.
But yeah, so I guess on that note, you want to go to our top 5.
Yep. Every week we'll go through our top 5 if things have come out, or if it's just changed overall. As I know, for me, Lost Odyssey came out, so mine has a little change to it. But as always, I'm the gentleman, so I'll let the female go first on her top 5.
Okay, well, obviously, Duke Nukem Forever is up there on the top. Yep. It's pretty much going to stay up there every week until they finally decide to release it. It's kind of our little petition and support for Duke Nukem because, let's just face it, it's like one of the greatest games ever.
Yeah, and we don't actually have a chance to kick 3D Realms in the ass to get it done, so...
So this is our little way of doing it. I guess besides that, Left 4 Dead.
Of course.
PC, some more stuff was released for it. There's been a lot of stuff being released about Left 4 Dead recently. More and more magazines getting their own reviews. I'm still incredibly jealous. I would love to have a chance to play Left 4 Dead in the beta.
When does that come out?
It comes out at the end of this summer.
Awesome.
So, for those of you guys that are incredibly excited, just as I am, there's plenty of people in the shout box anytime somebody says Left 4 Dead. You get about 30 people going, "Oh my god, I can't wait for this game."
I agree. That's definitely something I'd like to see this year, and I'd like to play.
So I guess, what about you? What's your number 2?
My number 2 has changed dramatically. I got the new issue of Play magazine. I know some people read it. A lot of people don't, because it's got a different format than most game magazines. But their cover article is a exclusive on a new game from EA. Of course, I mean, we already talked bad about them. Now it's time for me to talk good about them for now, until the game comes out and it sucks. No, just kidding. But it's called Mirror's Edge. It's going to revitalize, from what they say, revitalize the first-person genre. They're not calling it a first-person shooter, though. They're just saying it's from the first-person's perspective of a girl named Faith. I haven't finished reading the whole article. Just things I've picked up from it is, well, it's like got third-person adventure elements, kind of like Tomb Raider, where you're jumping around, or Crackdown, jumping around rooftops, running around different elements of offices and stuff, but you're doing it in a first-person view. They want to make it seem also like when you're on top of a roof and you look down, it looks the distance that it would look if it was really you up there. They don't want to, and I think that's awesome. If they can pull this game off, I think it might be a huge game this year that everybody will want to check out. And it doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt that the protagonist is a hot Asian female either.
At least they know
Not
where their
gonna lie.
marketing is.
Yep, me.
And what consoles is this one set to release on?
um, uh, everything but the Wii. I mean, next gen wise, you got PC, PS3, and the 360, and I'll probably get 360 because I'm an achievement whore. Not to the point where I sit there and that's all I try to do, but I prefer 360 over PS3 because I can get achievements, bragging rights, basically. So yeah, everybody will be able to play it, whether you got a console or not. So, what's your number 3?
My number 3, again, I guess, Quake Zero, Quake Live. I'm really psyched for a new Quake game. Punkbuster updated over the summer, I guess in June, and when they did that, it basically crashed so much, caused a lot of problems, and most everybody just uninstalled Punkbuster. And around that same time, I was having so many problems with it that I just stopped playing. Not like it really mattered. I wasn't that amazing at it. I mostly played Capture the Flag, but I'm really hoping that Quake Zero, Quake Live, whatever they finally decide to finish calling it, I hope that game really revives the market. And I mean, Quake 3 is a really vital part to the first-person shooter genre, especially in the pro tournaments, the pro districts, just all of that. And right now, the FPS market is going downhill a little bit, especially with PC sales. I think PC sales were responsible for less than 20%, excluding Valve, of course, because they have their Steam program.
True.
So couldn't really calculate the sales through Steam, but I'm really hoping that Quake Zero revives the FPS PC market this year. If it releases this year, it still doesn't have an exact release date. What about you?
My number 3, I have to go with moved up because of everything, because of Lost Odyssey falling off. Is Saints Row 2. Definitely. I haven't heard much GDC, no revelations or no info on the game, so I'm hoping we'll hear it coming up in the next few months. Still looking forward to it. I really can't say much more than on the last show. Then I'm just really waiting to see it because while I want to play GTA 4, this is the one sandbox game I want to play more than any of the others. So, say we move on to number 4.
Right.
What do you have for that one?
My number 4 is still House of the Dead 2-3 Returns. I'm a huge fan, of arcade games. And I'm glad that they finally are bringing some of the potential to the Wii. I think if this game does great, then a whole bunch of the old school arcade classics that you might, play at your local CC's Pizzeria or whatever it is that, you go to that has all the arcade games. I'm hoping that if this one is as successful as it's probably going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be like a hit title of the year. But I think it's definitely got some potential to bring some more great games to the Wii. And I'm just hoping that this one rocks. I'm hoping there's not a lot of problems with light gun. That's what I'm really thinking is probably going to happen. Because I know some other games have had problems with the guns in the past, not working properly. So, hopefully. Comes out next month. Less than a month, actually, so we'll find out.
I know you'll be playing that.
Yeah, I'll finally dust off my Wii. So.
Well, my number 4 is another newcomer knocking stuff off my charts that I've heard about, but I was waiting to hear an actual reveal or something like that. And once again, Play has the exclusive reveal. Play Magazine really brought me a lot of, I'd say, joy this month and what I can expect this year. Games of the Tales series, the RPG series that's been all over every system now. Tales of Vesperia, it's the first game of the Tales series to come to the 360. And if anybody's heard of the Idol Master games over in Japan, where basically you're training up a teen idol almost, they got this cell shading, next-gen cell shading that is absolutely gorgeous. And the Tales game, from the pictures I see, take that cell shading and bump it up to the next level where it looks amazing, like almost cartoon. It looks like a cartoon that you're playing, and the antagonist of the Tales series is not going to be some little immature kid. It's actually going to be the hero's going to be named Yuri, and he's described as an empathetic youth, but with a fully formed personality instead of the typical immature male youths that take up role playing games. So it might be a nice change of pace. We'll see how it comes about. Hope to have more information in upcoming months on that game. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So, what's your final number 5 pick?
My number 5 is actually a tie between two Wii games again. I've been really optimistic. I worked at GameStop last year, and so I bought a Wii because everybody was talking about how awesome it was, and I just really haven't played it much since the summer.
Oh, okay.
Wii Fit finally has a release date for America as well as Europe. It is set to come out in Europe in April, and it's set to come out in America in May. And it's been out in Japan already. It's been quite a success. It looks like a lot of fun. For those of you guys who don't really know what Wii Fit is, it's a small little, kind of looks like a scale, but it's a sensor board. It comes with a game, which basically it measures your body mass index. It helps train your balance. You can run on it. You do all this workout. It's kind of like your own little Richard Simmons for your Wii, and less flaming. Wii Fit, I think, has definitely got some great potential to kind of show the potential of the Wii being beyond just a gaming console. To be something more interactive, and definitely for the whole family. I'm really interested in Wii Fit. I think it looks really fun, but then again, like most things with the Wii, they look like fun, they are fun, but then a month later, you never really play them anymore unless you're intoxicated with friends over at your house. So I'm having some high hopes for this game. I really hope that it's not just another waste of money. It's supposedly supposed to be less than $100. That could mean $99.99, but I know that it's set to release, I think, in Europe, probably about the same, about $100 or £67 or something like that. I just know that the exchange rate is what they're trying to figure out before they set the final price for that game. So yeah. I'll hopefully know more about it in the upcoming weeks for some new episodes. The more I learn about it, the more I'll let you guys know. I've got Wii Fit's website up, bookmarked, so every day I'm checking for some new information on that. And I guess, again, like I said, it was tied. Brawl. I like Smash Brothers. I play it all the time, but I'm really skeptical how they're going to pull it off on the Wii. I don't know. My friend has it for the Japanese version for his Wii. He has his modified. I was supposed to play it last week, but some crap came up and we never got the chance to. So hopefully this weekend, guys, be able to play Brawl and let you know before it comes out in America what I think. So,
that'd be definitely nice.
For those of you guys who are thinking of purchasing a Wii or are waiting to sell yours, hopefully I can give you guys some insight and let you know. But yeah, I guess, that's my top list for the week. How about you?
Alright. To end mine is definitely Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Just like I had last time. Just looking forward to playing the prequel. Like I've played a little more into the Japanese version, but it kind of sucks when you really don't understand everything that's going on. You're just guessing. So it comes out March 25th. I already have it pre-ordered through Amazon. You get a free UMD case with it, a special Crisis Core UMD case. So I figured why not, instead of doing the typical GameStop. But plus there's no tax. Just to plug that.
For this,
I just can't wait.
Extra money to buy some ramen.
Exactly. But Crisis Core definitely looks great. I've heard great things about it. Very slight things that people don't like, but for the most part, everything seems to be okay. And that's my top 5 for this episode.
Alright. So, if you guys, again, want to go onto our Pwned.com profile or MySpace profile, Hopefully up soon we'll have our own forum section that you guys can chat with us about and let us know what your top 5 is, games you're curious about, games you want to know more about. Just let us know.
If we like your top 5, we might even showcase it on our podcast.
Definitely, because we want to know what you guys think, and we want to know what you guys care about. So I can't, he's an RPG whore and I'm a Valve whore, so we can't always make everybody happy. But that's why we want to hear from you. Because trust me, there's plenty more games we're psyched about this year. So
Definitely, list is going to constantly change, and definitely got to say it was a great show. Technical difficulties, minimum, if that. I don't think there were many.
There's a couple, but you guys at home probably
won't realize. Hopefully,
thanks to the glory of editing.
Yeah. Sorry if you heard my dog shake behind me. I about killed him. Because
no pots and pans this week. I'm very.
No, I moved up to my bedroom. I'm staying out, even though the whole time my roommate didn't come out of his damn room. So kind of didn't even have to move. But yeah, definitely great show. Had fun. Look forward to the next one. I hope you all enjoyed the interview with Andy. And we should. You'll probably hear this come this weekend. I mean, by the time you hear this, it's probably going to be Saturday or Sunday. Which is great because y'all will probably be listening to this while you're sitting at home waiting for school or work to start up the next week, or dreading.
Dreading.
So
I know I've got.
I hope y'all
coming
can.
Up soon. I've got midterms coming up soon.
Oh, that sucks. So yeah, I hope y'all keep supporting us. Let us know positive and negative feedback. If we don't know what's wrong, we can't fix it. Like we said, we'll be interviewing people in the future, not just Andy and other people who help Pwn out. We want to talk to you guys and see what you feel about Pwn and gaming in general. So.
And yeah, I guess on that note, everybody have a great week, have a great weekend. Yep. Depending on what time of day you guys are listening to this thing. And,
definitely.
Look forward to spending next week with you guys, episode 3.
Yep, and don't forget to download on iTunes if you can, if you're able to. Boost our ranking. We got to get up there. I want to be in the top 10 gaming podcasts in the future. So. And
if you don't have iTunes, please let us know on the Total Meltdown page, and we'll do whatever we can to make sure that you can get to our to our podcasts. We want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to listen to it. So.
Yep. We'll find a way to make it a downloadable link in the future. Near future, I should say. So, well, I guess that's all for this week. Or the next couple weeks, I should say. So, we'll see y'all later. We'll be around Pwned, of course. Look for us, G-Nitro and
Clov3r.
All right. Peace, guys.
Peace.